All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We are unpacking a massive, truly global shift that is completely reorganizing the future of artificial intelligence. We're looking at a recent, highly consequential analysis from the Center for Cyber Diplomacy and International Security, and what it details is basically a geopolitical earthquake. It's happening right now, mostly under the radar, and it's all about the physical materials that actually make the AI age possible. We're talking about the rapid, real-time formation of a brand new global tech alliance and how one seemingly quiet diplomatic move literally just locked the pieces into place.
Now, minerals are the new code. I love how this perfectly captures the transition we're in right now. We are moving from a 20th century economy built on oil and steel to a 21st century economy driven by physical hardware, massive compute power, and the specific minerals that feed it all. It's so easy to think of AI purely as software, right? Just code floating around magically in the cloud. But this analysis absolutely grounds us in reality. That code, it means nothing without the specialized physical infrastructure and the raw materials required to actually run it. Literally, minerals are the new code.
So, we are starting our story with a seemingly mundane, incredibly quiet signature that most of the world barely even noticed. But honestly, it fundamentally alters the global technology supply chain. On May 6, 2026, Norway's ambassador sat down in Washington, D.C. and signed a 4-page document. It was completely non-binding. No enforcement mechanisms, no parliamentary ratification required, nothing like that. Yet, according to the analysis, it might actually be the most consequential diplomatic act of the entire year. Why? Because this single piece of paper officially brought Norway into an initiative that is rapidly restructuring the globe.
Which brings us to Section 1. Enter Pax Silica, Building the AI Alliance.
Let's look at this initiative's true ambition. It's all about establishing a stable allied order governing the AI age, very much like the post-war order did for the oil economy. Think about the name. Pax reflects the Latin root for peace and stability imposed by a dominant power, while silica refers to the literal foundation of modern computing, silicon. This is essentially an American-led attempt to create a trusted, dominant ecosystem for the AI economy. The goal is to make it the default framework for the world, making it increasingly, prohibitively costly for any nation to step outside of it.
Now, Pax Silica recognizes a really tough reality. No single country, not even the US, can achieve self-sufficiency across all these crucial interdependent steps. In what the industry calls the minerals to models supply chain, you have to have the raw mineral extraction, then the incredibly complex manufacturing of semiconductors, the massive data centers, and finally, the AI systems and foundational models themselves. The core genius here, and honestly the inherent strategic risk, is that Pax Silica is designed to be completely interdependent by construction.
And this is the crucial point. This framework intentionally locks together highly specialized countries into this incredibly resilient puzzle. Each member brings an asset to the table that the others just cannot easily replicate. You've got Japan and South Korea providing the semiconductor manufacturing expertise. Australia brings the massive critical mineral reserves. The UAE and Qatar, they bring the abundant sovereign capital and the energy required for AI. Israel and the UK offer niche chip design. India brings engineering talent and processing, and Singapore offers that critical Indo-Pacific connectivity. It's explicitly a positive-sum partnership for those inside the tent. It's designed to reduce coercive dependencies on external nations, specifically China, by creating a robust, shared alternative.
So, moving right along to Section 2, Norway's specific geometry, the crown jewel asset.
This brings us right back to that 4-page declaration, and it reveals exactly why Norway was recruited as the 15th member of this alliance. Norway brings a totally unique, rapid-fire combination of assets that perfectly fills the gaps in Pax Silica's existing architecture. Just look at this list. No other candidate could offer this. They are a founding NATO member. They have highly strategic Arctic positioning. They possess significant deposits of defense-critical raw materials in Europe. Plus, they have the largest established offshore energy infrastructure in Europe, which is absolutely vital for powering these power-hungry AI data centers. And top it all off with one of the world's most massive, highly patient sovereign wealth funds. Norway wasn't just a symbolic addition. They were a necessary keystone for this entire supply chain.
By signing the declaration, Norway made a huge strategic choice. They chose to anchor their mineral diplomacy with the US-led framework, rather than cede authority to European regulatory architectures. The EU has been pushing its Critical Raw Materials Act pretty hard to gain authority over resources. But Norway, which participates in the European single market but isn't fully in the EU, opted for the US-led Pax Silica instead. It is a loud and clear signal. For Norway, the minerals to model supply chain isn't just about trade. It is a matter of profound strategic security, basically akin to collective defense.
But it's not all smooth sailing. Let's look at Section 3, the cybersecurity blind spot, the hidden trap of integration.
As we zoom back in on the mechanics of this alliance, a massive vulnerability emerges in the digital infrastructure. See, Norway doesn't just offer physical minerals, they provide the literal undersea and grid infrastructure required for AI, and that introduces some incredibly complex digital sovereignty challenges. Pax Silica isn't just shipping rocks and computer chips around, it's building a shared, trusted technological ecosystem. We're talking about coordinating fiber optic cables, data centers, information systems, the whole shebang. Norway hosts vital undersea cables connecting Europe to North America, and they have green-powered energy grids ready for massive AI workloads. Because of that, they are deeply, deeply embedded in this new shared network. And here is the infrastructure paradox. This perfectly highlights the sequencing risk I mentioned earlier. Pax Silica is rapidly building cross-border dependencies in collective infrastructure without having established a shared cybersecurity framework first. The intended benefit is shared supply chain resilience, right? But the unintended risk is a massive, shared cyber attack surface. If you connect your supply chains and your data networks to avoid being coerced, you absolutely must secure them collectively. Right now, Pax Silica has an investment function, it has a political function, but it's completely lacking a unified cybersecurity architecture. Basically, they're building the house before they've bothered to install the locks.
Which brings us to the reaction. Section 4, Beijing's strategic countermove, calibrated retaliation. Naturally, the formation of an alliance explicitly designed to dilute China's leverage in the AI stack hasn't gone unanswered. Look at this stark contrast in the data from early 2026. It proves that Beijing is selectively and very precisely weaponizing their current supply chain dominance against the leaders of Pax Silica. China's rare earth magnet exports, which, by the way, are absolutely essential for everything from electric vehicles to advanced missiles, surged globally by 8.2%. But at the exact same time, their shipments specifically to the United States plunged by a whopping 22.5%. It's a perfectly calibrated signal. China is showing they will use their decades of supply chain dominance to extract concessions and apply pressure exactly where they feel threatened.
So where does this leave everyone else? Section 5, the inevitable global choice, dividing the digital world.
15. In just 5 months, 15 nations have explicitly chosen their technological ecosystem. That is a pace of incredible diplomatic speed, and it is sending a massive signal to all the unsigned states that the window to influence this new world order is closing, and it's closing fast. Pax Silica grew from 11 to 15 members in less than half a year. So, for the rest of the world, most of continental Europe, the global south, anyone doing heavy trade with China, this choice is becoming impossible to ignore. The alternative to joining up is basically sitting on the sidelines while a trusted, closed supply chain is built entirely without you.
Ultimately, as Norway's quiet signature proves, the AI age makes this choice completely unavoidable. It leaves every remaining nation to answer this chilling, existential question: whose infrastructure do you trust? And, maybe even more importantly, who gets to decide what trust even means? The minerals are already in the ground. The AI code is currently being written. The alliance has formed. Whether a country leans toward the US-led Pax Silica or navigates toward parallel ecosystems, the era of comfortable ambiguity is officially over. It's a fascinating, rapidly evolving landscape, and one we are absolutely going to keep our eyes on as the physical foundations of the AI revolution continue to be fought over.